Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Top 3 Tips of the Week. This is a video series in which, as the name suggests, each week I share 3 tips that will hopefully help improve your game. If you want to get involved, please head over to my Discord and leave any videos, images, anything you've got, and hopefully you'll be included in a future video. But without any further ado, let's jump straight into this week's tips. So for tip number 1, we are going to be heading on over to Border. As you can see here, this is Mirror playing in the actual server room itself. This is quite a common spot, depending on what rank you're playing at. But there is a really easy counter to this that I saw in a Macy J live stream. He pretty much came up to this window just here that goes into the armory lockers, repelled, and he just shot through the floor. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and open it up so you can see exactly what I'm looking onto. But just shooting through the floor can be more than enough to push anyone off that wall and secure the kill. Obviously, if you drone ahead downstairs first, you can put a ping on them and see exactly where they are. Now, by opening this up, you can see that Mirror is just down there. She would have been really surprised by that. It's just so cheeky. It's a really, really clever spot. This doesn't just have to work as a counter to any Mirror players hiding behind that wall. Anyone that decides to go up onto the table, just there you see him going up onto it. That's quite a common place as well that you see people go to as sort of a retreat almost as they start to lose areas of the site. You can see all the blood down there. You can quite clearly light them up from here. And you are reasonably well protected. You can see by me going downstairs just here that you can you see exactly whereabouts on the table I'm lighting up. Anyone stood here is going to be getting taken out from above. Anyone that moves across to this little table here and tries to cover behind it, or even actually stands up on top of it, if they vault up and try and utilise this to gain a bit of an advantage, you're going to light up their feet and they're going to really, really struggle to see you. The other really good thing about this is if you open up the floor a little bit further back, you can see all the way through to this single door just here, and you can see their feet and you can see the lower half of their body if you're rappelling upside down, and they've not actually got any sort of a line of sight onto you. But this entire area of the map can be shut down by a single player. You do need to play it smart because don't forget people can jump out from the AC unit. That archives window there, anyone jumping out of there, a claymore being placed there isn't going to hurt, but just listen out for it, and if they do start jumping out, you can quite easily turn and just kill them. Either way, a really cheeky little spot that you can utilise. For tip number 2 today, this is going to be a grenade trick that I saw Bolo get killed with. I think it really did surprise him. But when you're defending the statue room, a lot of people sort of like to hunker down in this corner near the astronomy. And as you can see there, there's a tiny, tiny little pixel peak that you can actually dive from. So people sit further back and right almost next to the door. But as you can quite clearly see, you can get a grenade down here. And this can be really, really effective. So by coming up onto the second roof and aiming at exactly this spot that I'm aiming at here, the grenade will arc far enough down to actually kill anyone there. Now, for this particular one, I didn't cook it for very long, just to sort of showcase exactly what's going on. I was just trialing stuff, but you are throwing it down into that little spot that I'm looking at. So on this roof, this particular one, we were actually filming a different tip. I wasn't even going to do it, and then Turtle said whereabouts he was, and I thought, stuff it, I'll just go ahead and try it. You know, it doesn't take that much prep. You don't have to aim at a specific spot. It takes a little bit of practice, yes, to find the exact area, but if I pause the screen here, you can see exactly where I'm aiming. And as you can see, it goes all the way back to that corner. Anyone hiding there is going to have a really, really bad day. The final tip for today's video is going to see us back over in Oregon. This is, if you're pushing into the armory, this is a really, really good line of sight for anyone attacking the top floor. Very often this wall just here is reinforced, so what I've done is I've brought Hibana. It's a really good tip for Hibana because this pretty much opens up an entire line of sight that you wouldn't normally have. As you can see by peeking in between these boxes just here, you can get a line of sight all the way down to the door in the kids' dorms. Because of the tiny little pixel that is created, I mean, it's not ridiculously small, so you still get quite a good view. But as you'll hear Turtle saying here,
I can't actually see you, I'll be completely frank with you.
He can't even see me. My shots ring all the way through to the kids' dorms. It's a really good spot. And if I go ahead and look at it from the other way, you can quite clearly see it's very, very difficult to spot anyone that's there. As soon as you start shooting, your traces are going to come out. And even if people do know that you're there, it's a very difficult angle for them to contend because there's no cover for them. If you station someone here and then you have someone like a Glaz on the double window, 3/4 of the site is immediately locked down and all rotations just cannot happen. It makes it very, very difficult for teams. Now obviously I have brought Hibana for this. If they haven't reinforced the wall, you could do it with anyone. You could do it with Sledge, Ash. You could just shoot through the wall potentially and create that line of sight. But you are in a bit of an unsuspecting place. Most people would peek out to the right of the lockers. Meanwhile, you're hiding in between. As you can see, there are bullets coming towards this, and even still, he's going to have a hard time killing me, whereas I'm going to be able to light him up quite clearly and easily. Hopefully you enjoyed this video today, and fingers crossed some of these tips help you out in some way, shape or form. I've tried to put a nice little mix in there today of completely different ideas that you're going to be able to use. And obviously all of them are going to be very, very dependent on the kind of round that you are playing and the people that you're going up against and their setup. One more thing I did want to talk about very, very briefly, I may cover this a little bit more in another video, is the fact that there is a Rainbow Six Pro League viewing party happening in London next Saturday. So that's going to be Saturday the 17th of November. With the Pro League finals going on in Rio, I've had a long conversation with UB, and what they've done is they have pretty much organised for a bar to be hired out where we're all going to go down and watch the Pro League finals. It looks like it's going to be a real laugh. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and chuck the link down in the description below for their tweet that showcases all the information about it. If you're over 18... and if you're anywhere near London, even if you're not from near London, I know Jackson's travelling, he's flying in just for it. Dom's going to be travelling a stupid distance. But if you want to meet the likes of me, Rogue9 I believe is going to be there, Prodigio Pete, Marley, Snedger, I think Panky's going to be there. It's going to be a really, really good night. We're just going to have a few drinks, we're going to watch the Pro League, and we're going to have a really good laugh. So it'd be amazing if some of you could make it and we could hang out. As I said, all of the information is down in the description below. Anyway guys, if you did enjoy this video, please consider hitting that thumbs up. If you don't already, make sure to subscribe. And until next time, stay reckless and relentless.